Modi will hold a high-level consultative meeting on recent global events, opportunities for India tomorrow morning. The meeting will have over 40 delegates, including cabinet ministers, top officials, RBI, industry representatives, top bankers, leading economists and sectoral experts. It's going to be a big brainstorming session on the impact of recent economic events and how best India can take advantage of them. Mark Lynn joins us. Mark, all eyes will be now on how the government and the other stakeholders decide to turn the tables on the global economic downturn tomorrow.
Yes, Munmun, if you remember on the 25th of last month when the markets crashed, the Prime Minister did call a meeting in which, and after that the Finance Minister had briefed everybody, and he said that the Prime Minister was convinced, and he also took the point of view that the fundamentals of the Indian economy were strong and India had a chance to take advantage of the situation of the slowdown in China. And then the Finance Minister had also said that, you know, whatever's happening in the global economy was more or less transient because of hot money moving. The fundamentals of the economy are strong. And the Finance Minister has just returned from Ankara, if we remember, where he attended the G20 Finance Ministers meetings, where again they discussed these issues. And so he will be leading in, making a presentation tomorrow that will start off this meeting about the advantages that India can take from the global situation currently. Also, the Chief Economic Advisor will be presenting a point of view, after which we know that some top industrialists, according to reports, will be there. Mukesh Ambani, they say, will be there from Reliance Industries. So will Cyrus Mistry from Tata Sons. And each of those speakers, including industry representatives, will be given about 3 minutes to speak. And then the Prime Minister will weigh on these issues and dwell on them and then discuss them with them. There will be a strong brainstorming session. We also understand that this is coming before the Prime Minister goes off to the United States and will be meeting with industry leaders there. He's also going to California this time and will be meeting technology experts and, in the Silicon Valley. So it's important to understand that, the advantages that India needs to get, especially for Digital India, Make in India, Startup India, all these important programs of the Prime Minister. They are at least, there are issues, these issues are discussed and put down to what India can really make and gain from the current situation. Well, that's what's likely to happen tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning. But top line for now.
In order to pass GST bill, government might reconvene the monsoon session of Parliament. Parliamentary Affairs Minister says the decision shall be taken after discussions with all parties.
We want to call extended session of Parliament if the opposition is willing to cooperate, because the need of the hour is passage of the GST bill. GST bill is need of the hour in view of the global financial crisis that is developing.
Make in India and Startup India to work together. Departments working on ease of doing business and Startup India given responsibility. Chinese stock markets tumble again. In order to support the yuan, China sells foreign exchange reserves worth $94 billion. After the Chinese GDP outlook comes in at 7.3% against 7.4% last year, global markets fall. Tracking weakness in the rupee and concerns about weak monsoons, the Indian stock markets also tumble to a 15-month low. Sensex below 25,000, Nifty slips 96 points, mid-cap and small-cap space slip 2%. EPFO to hike maximum insurance benefit to 5.5 lakh rupees. The retirement fund body is likely to increase the amount assured under employees' deposit-linked insurance scheme to 5.5 lakh rupees from the existing 3 lakh rupees. In a move to increase penetration of RuPay cards, soon National Payments Corporation of India will roll out a new credit card co-branded with the Mudra Bank and also work to make it an international card.
Well, women play a key role in economic growth and development, and emphasizing this very fact, the G20 nations launched W20 for women. Take a look.
Believing that the prosperity of a country can be best understood by the smile of women from that country, and it is very important to empower them in the economic growth process, world's 20 largest economies, including India, launched W20, an engagement grouping of women leaders to push for gender-inclusive global economic growth. W20's newly appointed President Gulden Turktan said it would work as an outreach group and seek to promote gender inclusiveness in economic growth process by empowering women. She asked all G20 G20 countries to nominate their members. On the other side, IMF chief Christine Lagarde said words are not enough for women and delivery of all promises must be verified. Lagarde said even IMF did not exactly have any major focus on women-related issues earlier, but it had to study it after it understood the importance. W20 group, having 20 women leaders from G20 nations, would host its first summit next month in Istanbul after all member countries appoint their nominees. Business Desk, DD News.
More than 1 crore BSNL landline broadband customers, they will be getting a minimum internet speed now of 2 megabits per second. This is against the existing speed of 512 kilobits per second on their existing plans. And this move could trigger a drop in data speed tariffs, from the private telecom operators. And the Communications Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad launched the services in Gurgaon on Monday, and he said that government has made a number of reforms in BSNL.
BSNL ने आज एक अच्छा काम किया है कि ब्रॉडबैंड की स्पीड को 2 मेगाबिट्स बढ़ाया है। एक साल में हमारी सरकार आने के बाद BSNL ने पहले फ्री रोमिंग दिया, फिर रात के 9 बजे से सुबह के 7 बजे तक लैंडलाइन फ्री किया, और आज उन्होंने ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्टिविटी के पूरे लोड को आगे बढ़ाया है जनता के हित में बिना किसी एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट के। तो ये सारी बातें दिखाती हैं कि हमारी सरकार BSNL को अधिक एक्टिव, अधिक कॉम्पिटिटिव, अधिक प्रोफेशनल बना रही है।
Well, news from the stock markets, and despite some resistance, the slide that was seen in volatile trade, the bears are pretty much in control of the stock markets, taking the Sensex to a 15-month low of 24,893 and the Nifty to a 14-month low of 7,558. Now, while global factors are contributing to this fall, some analysts attribute the mood, the mood back home, to the markets factoring the impact of a weak monsoon. Also, the rupee falling lower is not helping sentiment either. The rupee closed at 66.86 against the dollar, a 2-year low. 26 of the 30 stocks on the Sensex ended in the red. Banking, metals, pharma all dragging the index. And while the Sensex, lost 308 points, global markets were mixed. The Asian markets were largely down, and that mood was reflected in our markets. But Europe was making marginal gains. And back